Good afternoon. We're going to go ahead and get started. It's 1:35 p.m. And I'm going to, first of all, ask for the roll call, Madam Chair, and then just go over a few things. If you could do a roll call for us, please.
Dennis Warren.
Here.
Catherine Townsend.
Here.
Mike Steinen.
Here.
Dudley Bates.
Here.
Craig Davis.
Here.
Thank you. And once I get back to my page here, we will start by the standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. If you're here to testify, possibly today, if you remain standing so we can get sworn in, and then I'm going to go over a few things. So please stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing if you're going to testify. And the clerk will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth?
Okay, let me read a few things, and then we're going to go over a couple other things real quick. Good afternoon, and welcome to the August 28, 2025 hearing of the Seminole County Code Enforcement Board. Before we begin, I would like to advise everyone about the procedures that govern appearances before the Code Enforcement Board. This meeting is open to the public under Florida's Government in the Sunshine Law. Therefore, every effort will be made to hear all persons having relevant evidence or arguments to offer. It is required that every person who appears before the Code Enforcement Board needs to be registered with the clerk. The cases where the respondents are present and signed in will be heard first. You will be sworn in or affirmed by the clerk. Once all cases where the respondents are present have been heard, the Code Enforcement Board will hear the remaining cases as they appear on the agenda. When your case is called, please be seated at the table reserved for the respondents. The county will present their case, and then the respondents will be allowed to present their case. Additionally, please limit your comments to only information relating to this case. Each party may question witnesses offered on behalf of the other party. Additionally, staff members may question those appearing before the Code Enforcement Board. The board will then make their decision based upon the evidence and testimony as presented by both parties. All proceedings before the Code Enforcement Board are electronically recorded. Please speak directly into the microphone at the center of the table and state your name clearly before presenting your case. Should you need assistance due to a hearing impairment or a language barrier, please inform the clerk upon registration. All cell phones and other electronic devices are to be turned off or silenced while inside the chambers. Thank you for your cooperation. And before we get going, I would like to suggest a very minor revision to the agenda as it is seen. And we only have we have one case where anyone is present to speak as to that case. It would be three separate cases, one respondent's case, and that's item number 3, 4, and 5 on our agenda, which is on page 3 and 4. I would like to move those, ask for a motion to move those to the front as the first item, and then just go in order of the rest of the agenda. If I can have a motion to that.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Simon, second by Mr. Bates, to accept the revised agenda, putting items number 3, 4, and 5 to the front of the list. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so that's what we'll do. Now, that particular, starting with the first one of those cases, it's case number 25-47 CEB. My understanding, the respondent is not here, but there may be a witness that would like to speak to that and the other two companion cases. Officer Hill, is it Officer Hill has this case?
Henson.
No. Okay. Would you like for us to hear the witnesses that are here? I guess it's a neighbor. I believe it's David Strain. Does that sound? Are you aware of that?
It's a neighbor. It's up to the board how they want to do it. I can present it, and then they can speak, or however you'd like to do it.
Okay, so you have no objection if we wanted to. Okay, is everybody okay hearing the neighbor, even though the respondent's not here? Okay, so we'll start in this manner. Again, we're going to hear this case now. It's case 25-47 CEB, as soon as I can get to it. And the case is, let's see, James R. Mumper, and Crystal Mumper, 1902 Long Pond Drive, Longwood, Florida, 32779. Officer Henson, this is your case whenever you're ready, and we'll do the other two. Well, we'll hear the witness after this one. We'll do these one at a time, I guess.
Okay. Seminole County Sheriff's Office Code Enforcement, Shannon Henson, North Region. Submitting this copy as a presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. This case is 25-47 CEB. Respondent Crystal Mumper and James R. Mumper. This property is 1901 Long Pond.
A 1 or a 2?
1902, sorry. 1902 Long Pond. The violation is Seminole County Land Development Code, Chapter 30, Part 14, Section 30.14-119-I. All fence shall be maintained in their original upright condition. I first inspected this property February 20th, 2025. Since the first notice was February 21st, 2025, with a second notice of March 25th, 2025. Compliance dates were March 10th, 2025, and April 9th, 2025, with follow-up inspections March 4th, 2025, and the last one was yesterday, August 27th, 2025. The dilapidated fence remains on the subject's property. Pictures were taken by Officer Joanne Tamulonis in February 2025. These were also taken by Officer Tamulonis in March 25, and April 10th, 2025 by Officer Tamulonis. This was taken by myself for the Code Board hearing that was scheduled for July 10th, 2025. And these were taken by myself July 23rd, 2025. And Officer Hill posted the property for me on August 11th, 2025. And this was also taken by Officer Hill for August 11th, 2025. And this was taken by me yesterday, and the fence is still down, as you can see. The suggested recommendation by the Code Enforcement Officer is based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 25-47 CEB. It is determined that the respondents, Crystal Mumper and James R. Mumper, are the owners of record for the property located at 1902 Long Pond Drive, located in Seminole County, and is in possession or control of the property and is in violation of Seminole County Land Development Code, Chapter 30, Part 14, Section 30.14.19I. And it's further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondent to correct the violation on or before midnight of September 11, 2025. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must remove or repair the fence to its original upright condition. If the respondents do not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. After compliance. The respondent must contact myself for arrangements to verify that the property is in compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Henson?
Should we hear all three cases, or what's your preference on that?
We can, is it?
So my preference is that you hear all three cases, and then at the end, decide if you'd like to hear from the witnesses.
Okay. Okay, very good.
No questions yet, then.
Okay. So you can, we're going to go ahead and let you present case number 25-48 CEB. Again, Officer Henson, whenever you're ready.
Seminole County Sheriff's Office Code Enforcement, North Region, case number 2548 CEB, respondent Crystal Mumper and James R. Mumper. I'm submitting a copy of this presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. Click. This property is located at 1902 Long Pond. The violation charged is Seminole County Chapter 95, 95.4, defined as in 95.3F, stagnant or foul water. This property was first inspected February 20th, 25, with follow-up notices February 21st, 2025, and a second notice for March 25th, 2025. Those compliance dates were March 10th, 2025, and April 9th, 2025. The follow-up violation inspections were March 4th, 2025, and the final one was yesterday, August 25th, 2025. The results of the inspection was stagnant or foul water remains on the property. This was taken by Officer Tamulonis in February 2025, and March 25th, 2025 by Officer Tamulonis. And this was April 10th, 2025. And this was by myself for the last code board hearing, our scheduled hearing for, it was July 10th, 2025. And this was taken by myself July 23rd, 2025. And this was taken yesterday, for the posting day. Kara Hill took these, and that was August 11th, 2025. And this was taken by myself yesterday, August 27th, 2025. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is based on the testimony and evidence presented in the case number 25-48 CEB. It is determined that the respondents, Crystal Mumper and James R. Mumper, are the owners of the property located at 1902 Long Pond Drive, located in Seminole County, determined by the property appraiser's records, and in possession or control of the property, and a violation of the Seminole County Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3F, stagnant or foul water. It's further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondents to correct the violation on or before midnight of September 11th, 2025. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must remove or clean the stagnant foul water from the pool. If the respondents do not comply with the order, a fine of $250 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact myself to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Mr. Simon?
Yeah, that last photo from yesterday, that is stagnant foul that I'm seeing, right? That's not some kind of cover.
It used to be a cover. I did actually speak to the owner yesterday for the first time, and he said it had a cover on there a long time ago, but it must have fallen in and all that's there.
Thank you.
Any other? Mr. Bates?
The pool enclosure there is intact?
No.
No. So that pool is open to the,
No.
Public?
The county had a company come in and fence it, so that it's safeguarded from the community.
okay, all right.
Okay, any other questions? Is this I'm looking at the violation here that's in is this the regular foul water violation for pools that we use? I got sort of lost in it and thought I was looking at trash until the very end of it when I read that. This is?
Yeah.
Okay. And so since it's secured, we're not addressing that? Is that, or is that the next? I know we have one more.
Well, the first case was for fence, because the fence is down, and that would secure the pool if they had that,
Gotcha.
but their screen's down and they
Gotcha.
don't have a
Okay.
cover, so.
Thank you. Then we'll move on, if there's no other questions, we'll move on to the third and final one for this respondent, case number 25-49 CEB, which is James R. Mumper and Crystal Mumper, same address.
Seminole County Sheriff's Office Code Enforcement, North Region. This case number is 25-9049 CEB, Crystal Mumper and James R. Mumper. I'm submitting a copy of this presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. This property is located at 1902 Long Pond in Seminole County. The violation charge is Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3A, rubbish. The first inspection was done on February 20th, 2025, with notices of February 21st, 2025, and March 25th, 2025. Those compliance dates were March 10th, 2025, and April 9th, 2025. The follow-up inspections began March 4th, 2025, and I inspected it yesterday on August 27, 2025, and the result of the follow-up inspection was the rubbish still remains on the property. This picture was taken by Officer Tamulonis, February 20, 2025, and Officer Tamulonis on the same day. This one was taken March 25th, 2025, and this was taken April 10th, 2025. This one was taken by myself for posting on July 10th, 2025, and this was taken by myself on July 23rd, 2025. And this was taken by Officer Hill, August 11th, 2025, for posting. This was taken yesterday by myself, August 27th, 2025. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 25-49 CEB. It is determined that the respondents, Crystal Mumper and James R. Mumper, are the owners of record of the property located at 1902 Long Pond Drive, located in Seminole County, determined by the property appraiser's record, and they are in possession or control of the property, and in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3A, rubbish. It's further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondents to correct the violation on or before midnight of September 10th, 2025, September 11th, 2025. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must remove all rubbish from the property. If the respondents do not comply with the order, a fine of $100 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondents must contact myself to verify the compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for Officer Henson?
Yeah, this case was supposed to go before the board in July, is that correct? Mm-hmm. And you said you did not have contact with this owner before very recently. Can you, first of all, describe your efforts to get in touch with the owner here, and then what happened when you did finally?
Officer Tamulonis had the case first, and she did actually make contact with this person through email, and he did email back. And then I got nothing, and then I found the email that she had sent it to, and I sent an email. But just yesterday, I got the phone number, and I made contact with him over the phone.
And what was the response of the homeowner?
He asked how he could stop the fines and what his date would be, and I told him it was going to be in September, and it had to be done by that day, or the fines would start the next day, and it would be every day.
Did he offer any kind of excuse? Did you get any kind of indication of why this property was like this?
It came down to them from his wife's father, I guess, passed away, and so they've given stories before. I heard that they were supposed to come down and fix things up and haven't yet, but he said he was going to try and get it in compliance before that.
So this is an out-of-state owner then, your understanding?
Correct.
Thank you.
Just for the record, who is he? What's his name?
Mr. Mumper, I'm sorry, James Mumper.
Okay.
Any other questions about any one of these?
Officer Henson, this has been going on almost 6 months. Is that approximately the time that they inherited this property then, or was it going on before they got it?
Just from my knowledge, hearsay, that it's been a long time coming. The neighbors have said that it's been sitting there empty for a long time.
Thank you.
Mr. Davis, pull your mic down. Mr. Davis, pull your mic down just a little bit. Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Okay, at this time, since the respondents, I don't believe, are here still, we will see if, I believe we have at least one witness here. Mr. Strain, are you here today? Would you like to speak to this? You're welcome to come up as long as you've been sworn in. If not, we'll get you sworn in when you get up here. And we'll check if there's anybody else after he gets through. Right at this table here, sir.
He was sworn in. He was sworn in.
Okay, thanks. And if you, once you get comfortable, state your name and your address for the record.
Good afternoon. My name's David Strain. I live at 1901 Long Pond Drive. We live across the street and 2 houses to the south of the house in question here.
Thank you. And before we get started, just to let you know, you heard the 3 cases, same respond, but 3 different issues we're looking at. That's what this board is going to be deciding today, what to do with those. You've heard them, you heard the recommendation. It's your opportunity to share whatever information you like.
Okay. First off, I took pictures yesterday myself, and I can pass them to you one at a time. I want to say that Long Pond Drive at this location runs north and south. Their house faces to the east. The first picture I have here is on the south side of the house. These bushes, you can't see the house because the bushes are there. The original owner of the house had built a nice exercise area in the back, and he also built the pool. I've lived there since 1986. I'm the original owner of our house. And so I've seen things go on for a while. So the first picture is of the south side of the house with the bushes that are there. Okay?
Are you wanting us to keep these?
Yes.
Okay.
The second picture I have is of the front of the house, just a little bit south of, or to the north of the first picture. And this is the front of the house as it's viewed today.
Holy moly.
And the third picture is the front of the house just further to the north with the notices up for the hearing. The fourth picture I have here, I took of the driveway. About 2 years ago, there was a water leak on not only their property, but for the development at that point. The water company came out, dug up the street, but the pipe also ran up underneath their driveway, so they dug up their driveway. And you can see by looking at it, there's concrete here that the water company never picked up, nor did they replace the hole that they made. So that's sitting in the current driveway. The last picture I have is of the north side of the house. On the north side of the house, is where the air conditioner heat pump is. To the best of my knowledge, that's the original heat pump that was put in by Grader when they built the house back in 1986. And you can't see it because of all the vegetation. Also, there's a portion of the fence you can see coming up that has been knocked down. I, 3 years ago, called about that fence, and nothing was done at that time. I think it was 3, maybe even 4 years ago, that the fence was knocked over and reported it. And that's the picture of the north side of the house. Now, this house has been owned by 3, maybe 4 people. To give you a representation of what happened here, the first people moved out after 4 or 5 years. They moved to the other side of Markham Woods Road. The next group of people came in. I don't know why they left. They sold it. The next group of people that bought it were the Kellys. Kellys were older people. They came from New York. They used to come down maybe every 2 or 3 months. They'd stay for a week to 3 weeks, then they go back up to New York. They passed away in the 2000, somewhere between 2003 to 2012. The husband first, then the wife. The house was left to the son and the daughter. The son wanted to sell it. The daughter said, no, I want to keep it. So our understanding is she bought the son out, has the house. Now they came in, I'd say 5 years ago maybe, and they put windows in the front. They said the windows needed to be changed, and that was all they did. They had, at one time, the Kellys had a lawn service that came in, kept the house looking nice. And then somewhere in the last, this has been going on probably 15 years now, they've lost, there's no lawn service, nobody comes, services the house, nobody looks in on it. Occasionally, They come down, spend maybe a day, day and a half, and then they leave. That's the most we've ever seen of them. So I don't know if they're aware of the condition the house is in today, but the last time I remember seeing them there was possibly a year and a half, 2 years ago. So that's my recollection of what's going on. I wanted to let you know. The other thing that I'm scared of is I have seen, personally, snakes in there. I have seen large rodents. I don't know if they're rats, large mice, other sort of animals. I've seen fox in there, and a couple of my neighbors have seen coyotes in there. And the thing that scares me, on the south side, there's a new family there that have young children, and on the north side, the family there, they have young children too. So I'm a little concerned for the children as to what I've seen on that property and what is presented there and the safety of the children. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Any questions, Mr. Bates?
Sir, from your very graphic pictures there, and also in addition to these violations, it seems that the place is just completely overgrown. Grass, trees, but especially the grass that you're talking about with these various vermin, and it appears to be quite high as well. Is that true?
That's true. I'd say the average height of that grass right now is probably 10 to 14 inches. And you
Okay.
can see by the pictures of the postings of how high the grass would be.
Right. Thank you.
Officer, can you tell us why that is not a case that's included here as well?
That is a case that was presented to the code board clerk, and it got misplaced, and we wanted just to make sure we could go forward with whatever we had at the moment, because that's so, the case is pretty bad with the pool and the fence down, so we wanted to go forward with it, and we'll get the vegetation later.
So for the attorney, then, we have no ability to address the grass today?
No,
Thank you.
correct.
Any other questions?
Officer Henson, did you indicate that they had indicated before that they were going to correct these violations over the months?
I do have 2 emails, one that was received by Officer Tamulonis that I can submit into record. I'd have to email it to the clerk later, and I have one for myself, if you want me to read it, or if you want it submitted into record.
I was just curious, maybe basically paraphrase
Yeah, I
what they
think he just
said.
wants to know if they've acknowledged they're going to
Yeah,
make an
what-
effort, or if they just
yeah.
said, thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, I got one other thing too.
While we're waiting, is there anyone else that was here to speak on behalf of this case? I don't think it's okay.
If I could, I'd like to say one other thing.
Yes, sir.
Just for your knowledge, there have been people in our neighborhood that have tried to buy this house so that it could be fixed up and put into a proper position, and they have turned them down every time.
So the email that he had sent Officer Tamulonis, he just said that they're looking for a remedy, they don't occupy the house, and they're contemplating on selling it, or otherwise moving on ownership of the property. And then he said it's not an easy job for them to do, because they're out of state.
What was the date of that email? How
That
long ago was it?
one was March 8th.
Okay.
Anything else? Yes.
So do we need to address each one of these
Yeah.
separately then?
Well, yeah, as far as a
As far as
motion.
the findings?
Motion and an order, yeah.
Yeah. So if we're at that stage, we'll start with no other questions, nobody else want to testify. So we'll go to the first one, 25-47 CEB. I'll call this the fence case, where the fence was down. The recommendation is by September 11th, compliance date or $50 a day fine going forward on that. That's the recommendation.
I move the staff recommendation.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Bates, second by Mr. Sinans to accept staff's recommendation as presented on case number 25-47 CEB. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And brings us to 25-48 CEB. We'll call this a stagnant or foul water case. Recommendation, compliance date by September 11th or $250 per day fine. Is there a motion on that?
Move the staff recommendation again.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Bates, second by Mr. Davis, Mr. Simon. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries on that one. And the last one, we'll call it the rubbish case. That's 25-49 CEB. Compliance date by September 11th is what's recommended, or I believe there's a $100 a day fine is what was on that one.
Move the staff recommendation.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Bates, second by Mr. Simon, staff's recommendation as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's what we've done. We've accepted. Sir, thank you so much for coming in. You, and I'm assuming that's your wife. It takes time to do that, and it's very helpful for us, because usually we got to sift through a lot of stuff. Very helpful. Thank you. Yes, sir.
All right, you can go back to the beginning of the agenda. You have that person signed in.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
This, another respondent has arrived, probably got stuck in I-4, brings us to its number 1 on the agenda. So we'll go ahead and hear that one first. Sir, when I call you, or whoever the respondents, when I call you in, just come up to the table here, stand here. I don't think you've been sworn in, and just remain standing so we can swear you in. It's case number 21-07 CEB, Palma Fernando and Palma Argentina J. This is repeat violation. If you're here for that case, if you could come up, please. Again, this is off the repeat violation list. First case. Okay. Thank you. And if you're going to testify, if you have not been sworn in, please stand up and raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth?
Yes, I do.
And your name, sir.
Fernando Palma.
Okay,
This
and
is
your
Fernando
address is?
Palma. Yeah, same.
And this is, I'm sorry, his?
My father, Fernando Palma.
Oh, very good, okay.
Does he need a translator? Is that why
No,
you're here?
no, I was
Yeah.
going to speak on their behalf.
But he understands English?
Yes.
Okay.
Great. Okay, this case belongs to Officer Hemingway. Whenever we're ready, we can go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon.
All right.
Code Enforcement Officer Shanita Hemingway, Seminole County Sheriff's Office South Region, case number 21-07 CEB, respondents Fernando and Argentina Palma. And I would like to submit a copy as Exhibit 1. Case number 21-07 CEB, Fernando and Argentina Palma at 1062 Williams Street, Seminole County, violation charged, Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3A, rubbish. There was a Code Enforcement Board order issued April 22nd, 2021. I observed the violation on May 20th, 2025. I sent a repeat letter to the respondent May 28th, 2025, and the follow-up inspections were August 12th through August 19th. The results of the follow-up inspection were that the rubbish was removed from the subject property. I do apologize, I have to read into record my initial inspection day. Somehow, when I saved it from my PowerPoint file to the shared PowerPoint file, one day is missing. So my initial day of May 20th, 2025 is missing from the PowerPoint. The day I posted was August 12th, 2025. Deputy Copeland went back on August 14th and took pictures of the rubbish, which is like some shingles on the porch and some vegetation, tree debris. This was taken on August 19th, 2025, where the rubbish has been removed. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officers, based on the testimony evidence presented in case number 2107 CEB, it is determined that the respondents, Fernando and Argentina Palma, are the owners of record of the property located at 1062 William Street, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser, are in possession or control of the property, and was in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3A. And it is further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board, based on the order finding compliance and imposing fine/lien issued on April 27th, 2023, the Code Enforcement Board issue an order imposing a fine in the amount of $9,100 for 91 days of repeat violation from May 20th, 2025 through and including August 18th, 2025, and the fine shall continue to accrue at $100 per day for each day the violation continues thereafter. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. See if anyone has questions. I have one when they get through. I'm just confused on the dates. I thought, I was trying to follow you. I thought on, my question specific to when this new event starts, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I thought I saw you say that on May 20th, it went out of compliance, but then it was corrected at some point, and then on August 14th, the deputy takes a picture and it's now back in violation. I may be wrong, but just piece together where this starts.
Yes, sir. So May 20th is when it's a repeat violation, so it's been in violation before. May
Right.
20th is when I went out and did my initial. It was out of compliance.
Okay.
I did the posting on August 12th, but I didn't get pictures of the rubbish.
So it did not come, I thought you had
No.
said it came, so it did not
No,
come.
it did not come to compliance on August 12th. I just didn't get pictures of it.
Gotcha.
So do we have pictures from the original, the May 20th date?
I have them, but not in this PowerPoint. I have it in my original PowerPoint. So when I saved it in our shared file that we all, like where Kara pulls from, it somehow got erased. So if needed, I can print it. I can forward it to maybe Julie or Alexis and have it printed out.
No, sorry, I'm back to my.
I mean,
Let me ask you, the one line, I guess, that's hanging me up now, where you have two, it says an affidavit of compliance. The one that says an affidavit of compliance on a repeat violation was filed by the code enforcement officer after reinspection on August 18, okay. That brings us to where we're at. My apologies. Okay, I'm good. I'm sorry. So,
should we hear from the homeowner now?
yes, we should. Okay, any other questions for the code officer? Seeing none, sir, either one of you, this is your opportunity to speak on behalf of the violation as it pertains to this.
I've been taking care of the property, making sure that the grass stays down since the violation occurred a few years ago. And I was trying to repair the property too for them. We took out because the roof caved in is what happened. We took up a re-roofing permit and we started doing it. And then the inspectors that came in both gave me two different things that I needed to do to the roof. So we ran out of money to fix the roof. Since I did a repairs to keep water from coming in, but we still needed to get the shingles up and everything. So those shingles that were there were not rubbish. They were the shingles that I was going to use to install the roof. And there was tile there too on the porch, which is for the interior of the house because I'm removing the flooring. I injured my knee in April, so I wasn't really going too much. I still went over there to cut the grass, but I didn't go as much as I was before. And there was an issue with dumping in that property before. That was the rubbish that was the previous violation. People kept dumping in there. and I kept removing it, and I still do remove the dumping that occurs there regularly. Officer Chandra?
Shanita.
Shanita, sorry.
Yes, sir.
She informed me that the contact information for us is incorrect in public records. So I didn't get, the first time I knew that there was a violation was when I went to cut the grass and I saw that it was posted on the property. And I contacted her as soon as I was able to. And she informed me what needed to be done, and I took care of it as soon as she told me. And I'm going to try and get a permit so I can put a fence around it to prevent the dumping that occurs there.
Does someone live at the home currently, and if so, who, sir?
So that home was for my parents. They live with me right now because I couldn't afford to finish the roofing because and plus I had the knee injury. My knee is a lot better now. I still limp, but I can work again. So I'm going to go and look and see when I can reapply for the permit, because the permit has to be reinstated so I can do the roofing.
And did your parents pay the $72,000 fine that was apparently imposed before the lien?
No.
Or is that still
No.
existing?
If you read the sentence before, it says it was
They paid
reduced
the
to administrative
administrative.
cost of $624.23, which was paid. So the $72,100 was reduced to $624.23, and that's the amount that was paid.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Where do you stand, sir? Understand about your injury and so forth. Where do you stand as far as bringing this property into compliance?
So-
Can you meet these dates, or where are we in that regard?
Well,
Mr. Bates, it's currently in compliance.
Pardon?
It's currently in compliance. It is in
It is
compliance.
in
Yes, sir.
compliance now.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
This is,
okay.
and this is something that you don't see very often. So what's happened is, there was an order, they came into compliance, they fell out of it, so it's a repeat, and then they came into compliance again. So what you're being asked is to fine them for the 91 days that they were out of compliance. But they're currently in compliance. If you look a little further into the notes, they've also provided you with administrative cost. And so you have a clerk administrative cost of $78.58, and you have an administrative cost of $121.47. So the total administrative cost is $200.05, which is another option.
All right, so you are in compliance now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, in that case, I would move that I move forward with the administrative cost of $200.05.
I'm sorry, but I think we're going to have a witness on this before we make a motion.
Okay.
Did you have something before we hear from witnesser real quick?
Yeah, I was
Sorry,
going
Richard.
to say one more thing. As far as the 91 days, like I said, the public record is incorrect there, so they couldn't reach us. So I was unaware that we were in violation of any code until I saw the post on the, until I saw the sign on the yard. And as soon as I saw the yard, I called right away to get in
Well,
compliance.
that date isn't a date, that date is just a date it went out of compliance. So you may not have been, but that's why the first time when you're out of compliance, you're warned, if it goes out of compliance again, fines start right away. So just so we're clear.
No,
I do understand your position, but it's not a guarantee that we can reach you,
Yeah.
or they can reach you.
Also, this is the original PowerPoint that has that slide, and this is May 20th, 2025. To go along with what he's saying, his mail was returned, and I did advise him to update his mailing address on property appraiser.
Thank you. And I have a question for you, because I've heard what we're dealing with is a removal of trash, I understand.
Yes, sir.
And we've heard about a roof and a permit. He needs to get that trash gone to get out of violation. Isn't that what we're looking at?
Yes, sir.
not-
But he's in compliance currently,
It's been removed.
as of that day.
And it was shingles I mean, I know it's listed as trash, but it's shingles that he was actually using to repair the roof on this
He
property.
did come into compliance on the 18th, not just for one violation. He came into compliance for 2 on that day. What, the 19th?
Before we get to witness, Mr. Simon?
I just want to know if we had a witness.
We do. And we'll call that witness up. I believe there's a neighbor here. Anthony Wilson, sir, if you want to step up to where the code officer is here at this podium, we'd like to hear what you have to say. And just for the respondents, he'll be talking to us, we'll be talking back to him. So, and if
He has to be sworn.
you have to be sworn in, raise your right hand so the clerk can swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth?
The truth.
And your name and address, sir?
Anthony Wilson is my name. And my property address is next to the Palmer's, is 221 Market Street,
Thank you.
Altamont Spring.
Thank you. And you're welcome to share whatever you'd like to share, sir.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you all for allowing me to come up and speak this afternoon, and also the gentleman sitting in the back there. I didn't know that we had to sign in order to speak, so they enlightened me back then. I really thank them for that. I want to be short, get straight to the point. I am one of the siblings that is living the house that the Palmers have. It was a family-owned house. There's 2 properties there. Back in 1958, my grandmother parted her property so that my parents could build a nice little Jim Walter house on, so that the 5 children, my mother and father, we could live, so that we wouldn't have to keep renting. And the house, it got into a foreclosure. My baby sister, it went to my baby sister. And some kind of way it got into foreclosure. And I'm sorry about that. And that's how the house got away from the family. It was hers and her husband. But my point is, the house been sitting. Now I cut my grass, try to keep my property up, it's small and everything, just so close together. We got a driveway. That's how close it is. And I just go head on when I'm cutting. I just cut the driveway because it brings back so much memories to me and sentimental value. So at this point, I understand the Palmers so much fine violation code that they are in. I don't know how. I hope that they can get out of it. I don't know how that they're going to get out of it, because there is not much is being done to the property in the span of the time that you all allow them to. You all are being very, very lenient with them, and that is good on their behalf and whatnot, but it's very little bit of progress in making for what we need to do here. If they cannot keep the property up and go ahead on and remodel the house so it can be livable. My property is right adjacent to it, and we are keeping ours on up the best that we possibly can, and manicure it and make it look good, livable, and all of the rest of the neighborhood is around there. Houses is being upgraded and remodeled, all but 1062 William, where my family, it was a family house, and it's just sitting there, it's a sore eye to the community. So my point is here that the house need to go ahead on, proceed with remodeling. If not, it need to be torn down. But I would hate to see it to be torn out, and I don't mean to talk like this and hard, but that's where the point is. The code enforcement officer lady, she sees it and everybody sees it. It's a sore eye.
Mr.
And
Wilson,
what-
just, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just so we're clear, we're here for the trash issue that's in compliance now. So that, even though I hear you, the House may have a whole lot of issues, I just want to make sure you understand what they're here for today, they've complied with. It has to do with the trash outside. Am I correct here? So just before you get too involved in the other
thank
stuff,
you.
I'm sure there's maybe stuff, I don't know.
Thank you for cooling me down.
Yeah, yeah.
My point is, the trash here in our community, in Wynwood community, the trash is being picked up on Tuesdays and Friday. We got yard waste pickup on Wednesday. I don't see that much trash. I mean, once upon a time, there was a stack of shingles was out there in the yard. But if I'm making a mistake, is any shingles out there in the yard now? Yeah, they've been removed. So the trash is picked up on Tuesdays and Fridays, so if there's any trash, maybe we need to pay a little school kid or somebody to say, well, hey, I give you X amount of dollars if you would just take the trash out to the curb, to the road, every Monday evening when you get out of school or something, and then that way, if any trash is around there, I haven't seen that much trash in the backyard or anything like that. There may be a little bit of debris back there, but it's not anybody dumping anything. So I want to thank you all very much for allowing me to speak. And to the Palmer family, I hope that you all can get out of this debt here that you all are in with the county, with the code enforcement. That's a lot of money. And I was hoping in some type of way that if you all can't, I don't know what all of the procedures is and everything, I would love to try to have the house back. Thank you for
Thank you for showing up today. We appreciate your testimony. Seeing no other witnesses to testify, folks, you have any other questions, or is there a motion? Let me try to recap where we're at here.
I need to remake that motion.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I would move that we accept the recommended payment in compliance of the administrative cost of $200.05.
I'll second that.
Without the lien, correct?
Without the lien, yes.
I'll second that.
Well, what happens if they don't pay the lien, that $200?
I'm sorry?
What happens if they don't pay the $200?
Wouldn't that then become a $200 lien that would be put on the house?
So you can't do it without the lien. If you're trying to impose the administrative cost, your order should read, I move to order that they pay the reduced amount of administrative cost, $200 with 5 cents, within 30 days. And then if they fail to make that payment within 30 days, it reverts back. Do you want it to revert back to the original amount? Or do you want it to stay at the 205 and then becomes a lien? So you need to have lien language in there.
Okay.
We asked the respondent here, 30 days is acceptable to pay this $200?
Yes, yes it is.
So your 30 days is
Okay.
September 27th, 2025? Yep.
Yes.
Yep, September 27th, 2025.
So let me try to recap here. The recommendation is to not impose the $9,100 lien, however, reducing the amount owed to $200.05 if paid by September 27th, 2025, and if not, it would revert back to a lien in that amount of $9,100. Is that
Correct.
my understanding?
Yes.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Bates, second by Ms. Townsend. Any other discussion?
Do we really need to put the $9,100 on these people that are already struggling so much? I mean,
Is it detrimental to
That's
put it in? What's the impact? I mean, but I could take out the number if you want, but,
it's his motion. He's the one who made the motion, so I'm
Yeah, I'm just
asking
trying to
Mr.
clarify.
Bates, I'm not asking you.
go ahead.
I would say yes, especially since they've indicated they could take care of the administrative cost within 30 days.
We're asking for an option to reduce the amount of the pending lien?
I would vote yes on if this is not paid within 30 days, then it would become a lien of $200, not a lien of $9,100. It's some shingles in the yard while they're trying to fix their roof is what we're talking about here. That they moved as soon as they were properly
I'll
notified.
be glad to discuss my other side of the fence looking at it. He's already been down this road before.
No, you're closed.
We've been down this road before. He's been given a break before. He's been, here we are again. So that's why I'm on the opposite side of the fence on that.
You don't have to change your motion. You got a second.
have to change
You
your
don't have to change your motion.
Yeah, and it was, I was just trying to, the motion for Mr. Bates, make sure I got it right. If I didn't, I'll change it, or you can change
Well,
it.
I'm amenable to reducing the pending lien then to the $200 and whatever, $200.05,
Okay,
if
so you,
that's agreeable with the rest of the board.
okay, so your motion would be to change the fine to the administrative cost $200.05 to be paid by September 27th, or it then reverts to a lien of $200.05. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Everybody's understanding?
If you need a second, I know Mr. Davis was the original second.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. So, motion by Mr. Bates, second by Mr. Davis to what I just said. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No? Okay, got.
Raise your hands. Raise your hands.
Okay.
We're ayes,
do ayes.
nays. It was 3-2. We're the ayes over here, they're the nays over
Oh,
there.
okay.
I didn't, no, can you just, ayes, raise your hand.
Ayes, raise your hand, please.
Nays, raise your
Nays,
hand.
raise your hand.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so it's what you've got to have it in compliance by September 27th, or there will be a lien put on the property, excuse me, it's in compliance. You have to pay the fine by September 27th, or there will be a lien on the property for that amount, the $200.05.
It'll be done. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you for coming in. And,
No one's-
all right.
But Dave, we're trying not to have it be
I
complicated.
thought we could be ripping through this, okay. So now we can get moving along. Is there anybody else?
No, you're fine. Number 2 on page 3.
Oh,
Number 2 on the top, page 3.
okay. Number 2, on page 3, case number 25-45 CEB, Mark D. Severson and Vivian M. Severson, Andrew W. Hutchins. The address is 3331 Alena Court, Winter Park, Florida, 32792. Also judges.
Hello.
Hi.
Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. All right. Tamara Judges, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, East Region Code Enforcement. For the record, I am submitting a copy of this PowerPoint presentation to the clerk as Exhibit 1. This case is case number 2524 CEB, respondent Vivian M. Severson, and the property is 3331 Alena Court, Winter Park, Florida. The violation is Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3G, unsecured swimming pool. My initial inspection was on 2/21/2025. Notice to the respondents were on 2/21/2025 and 3/17/2025. Compliance dates were 3/7/2025 and 3/31/2025. Follow-ups inspections are listed, starting with 2/24/25, and the most recent was 8/27/2025, and the result was that the unsecured pool violation remains on the property. This was taken by me on 2/24/2025. This is taken from the neighbor's backyard, so you're looking into the subject property. This is, again, all my pictures are going to be taken from the backyard of the neighbors. This is looking into the subject property, and the arrow is pointing to the pool. There's another picture on 3/12/2025. This is on 3/12, again, 2025, and that is, the arrow is pointing to the pool. This was on 3/31, 2025. This was on 4/21, 2025. They had taken the fence area and just leaned it up. It was not secured, and then the arrows are pointing to gaps that a child could get into through the fence. This was my original posting for last month, and I posted on 7/9/2025. This was a follow-up on 7/22/2025. This was my posting for this hearing, which was on 8/18/2025. And then my follow-up yesterday on 8/27/2025. The suggested recommendation by the code enforcement officer is based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 2545 CEB. It is determined that respondent Vivian M. Severson is the owner of the record of property located at 3331 Alena Court, located in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records, in possession or control of the property and in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, and defined in 95.3G, unsecured swimming pool. And it is further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order for the respondent to correct the violation on or before midnight of September 11th, 2025. In order to correct the violation, the respondent must secure the pool by surrounding it with a fence or barrier at least 48 inches in height or above, with the rest of the recommendation as well. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $250 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact myself to arrange for an inspection of the property to verify compliance. Kara, can you just go back to whatever picture? That's good. There are other cases that I've brought to Code Board that are already running for rubbish, uncultivated vegetation, and a stagnant pool. So those are running, and their fines are currently running. They were living out of a camper on the property that has since come into compliance, because looking at the pictures, obviously there's other violations going on. So I just wanted you to know that those are already running and those have already been addressed by the board. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for us or judges?
Have you had contact with the owner, and where do we stand as far as getting that pool secured?
Yes, sir. The owner is the mother. She has an adult son that lives in the home. This property was on the news. You can look it up on the news. So the white part that you see is due to the sheriff's office. We had to do a controlled explosion to the home because there were explosives being made in the home. They don't want to come into compliance. She has no need to come into compliance. They're just not cooperative.
Okay, how about some type of temporary, or whatever we call it, security on that pool to take care of that issue?
The home is not vacant. There are people living in the home, the mother and the adult son, who are there 24/7, so it is their responsibility to do so.
So there are people living in the trailer and the home?
The trailer has since been removed. They were living in the trailer, but they're
Okay.
not anymore.
All right.
But we're not making any, like we've done in other cases of having the county or somebody to temporarily secure the thing?
So when we temporarily
So it's just
secure
wide
them,
open?
it's because the home is vacant. That's why we're able to go on the property and secure them. Because the home is being lived in, we are not able to do so.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I see the council over there is about to speak.
You can tag it. The board has the option of tagging it under the Chapter 162 Health, Safety, Welfare statute, and that brings it to the county's attention. And then the county does whatever they need to do or can do. But if that makes you more comfortable to tag it,
When we make our motion,
when you
roll
make
it
your
into-
motion, I'll help you with the wording to tag it a health, safety, welfare concern. Okay?
Okay.
And before we get to motion, I just want to remind the board that this is a frequent flyer that we're dealing with here that did come before us and expressed no interest in whatsoever in complying with what they were charged with violating last time. And I might also add that we do have a board specialist here in making safety violation motions sitting to my left, should we decide to go that route. If not, I'm happy to do so.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I'd like to move that we declare that this property is in violation of 162 and is a safety hazard. I would also like to move that we accept staff's recommendation in terms of the unsecured swimming pool. And that fine would be, I believe, if I remember right, if we could go back to that slide, I believe it was $250 per day.
Yes, that is correct.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Simon, second by Mr. Bates to accept staff's recommendation as presented, however, addressing this or including in this notice that it is a life, health, safety. Here we go.
Can I read the language
Yes,
into
ma'am.
the
Please.
All right, so
Health,
based on the
safety,
testimony and evidence presented, this board finds that the respondent shall have until September 11th, 2025 to come into compliance. They'll come into compliance based on the recommendation provided on how to come into compliance. If they fail to make that September 11th, 2025 deadline, there's a fine of $250 for each day after that day that they fail to stay in compliance. Furthermore, this board finds that the violation presents a serious threat to the public health, safety, welfare, and it is ordered that by copy of this order, Seminole County be notified of conditions pursuant to sections 162.06 subsection 4 and 162.09 subsection 1 of the Florida statutes.
That's exactly what I'm moving.
Hang on to it.
Second that as well.
Everybody good? Motion by Mr. Simon, second by Mr. Bates, I think. Any other discussion, question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Let's see where we're going after this. Looks like,
So you're on page 5.
Page 5.
6, 7, and 8 are
Okay.
your lien cases.
yes, going to the liens, this respondent, so we think about 3 cases. The first one is 25-35 CEB, Mabel Hill, Harry Hill, McKinney, comma, Air, comma, Bernice, comma, Hardy, comma, Cheryl M. Address 2054 Sipes Avenue, Sanford, Florida 32771. Officer Henson. It's a lien case.
Shannon Henson, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, Code Enforcement, North Region. This case is 25-35 CEB. Respondent is Mabel Hill, Harry Hill, Bernice McKinney Air, and Cheryl M. Hardy. I'm going to give this, submitting a copy to the clerk as evidence. This property is located at 2054 Sipes Avenue and is charged with Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, 95.4 is defined in 95.3B, uncultivated vegetation. My initial inspection was September 12th, 2024. On June 8th, 2024, there was a code board order, and I did follow-up inspections June 11th, 2025, and yesterday also, August 27th, 2025. And the result is the violation of uncultivated vegetation remains on the subject's property. These are some of the pictures from the beginning. And this was in October 2024. And this was October 28th, 2024. And this was January 3rd, 2025, and April 23rd, 2025. And this was taken by Officer Hill when she posted the property for this hearing on August 11th, 2025. And then this was taken by myself yesterday, August 27, 2025. The suggested recommendation by a code enforcement officer is based on the testimony and evidence presented in the case number 25-35 CEB. It is determined that the respondents, Mabel Hill, Harry Hill, Bernice McKenna, Air, and Cheryl M. Hardy are the owners of the property, owners of the record of property located at 2054 Sipes Avenue, located in Seminole County, and as determined in property appraiser records. And they are in possession or control of the property and in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3B. And further, it's recommended that the Code Enforcement Board, based on the findings of fact, conclusion of law, and order issued on April 24, 2025, I'm requesting that the Code Enforcement Board issue an order imposing a lien in the amount of $5,600 for 112 days of noncompliance from May 8, 2025 through and including August 27, 2025, and that the fine shall continue to accrue at $50 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after August 28, 2025. The respondents must contact myself to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Questions for Officer Henson?
I have one. Has this property been condemned?
No.
No?
There's still a person residing there.
Somebody's living in it? Oh,
These people appeared before the board and said that they were going to fix this and
yes,
never
they
did.
did.
So I'd like to move that we accept staff's recommendation.
Second. Sorry.
No, please.
Motion by Mr. Sonny, second by Mr. Bates. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? One's gone. 25-36 CEB, same respondents, same address. Officer Henson, whenever you're ready on this one.
Seminole County Sheriff's Office Code Enforcement, Shannon Henson, North Region, case number 25-36 CEB. The respondents, Mabel Hill, Harry Hill, Bernice McKinney Air, and Cheryl M. Hardy. This property is located at 2054 Sipes Avenue. The violation charged, 2054 Sipes Avenue, the violation charge is Seminole County Code, Chapter 95, 95.4, as defined in 95.3A, rubbish. This case was initially seen on September 12, 2024. Code board order date was June 8, 2025. Follow-up inspections was from June 11, 2025 to August 27, 2025. The results of the follow-up inspection, the rubbish violation remains on the property. These images were taken by myself on September 12, 2024. And my sergeant, October 2nd, 2024. Myself, October 28, 2024. January 3rd, 2025. April 23rd, 2025. August 11th, 2025, when Kara Hill posted the property and took the photos for me. And this was taken by myself yesterday. The suggested recommendation by the Code Enforcement Board is based on the testimony and evidence presented in the case number 25-36 CEB. It is determined that the respondents, Mabel Hill, Harry Hill, Bernice McKenna Air, and Cheryl M. Hardy are the owners of the record of property and located at 2054 Sipes Avenue, located in Seminole County, is determined by the property appraiser records, and is in possession or control of the property, and is in violation of Seminole County Code Chapter 95, Section 95.4, as defined in 95.3A. And it's further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board, based on the findings of fact, conclusion of law, and order issued on April 25th, 2025, I'm requesting that the Code Enforcement Board to issue an order imposing a lien in the amount of $11,200 for 112 days of noncompliance from May 8th, 2025 through and including August 27th, 2025, and that fine shall continue to accrue at $100 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after August 28th, 2025. The respondents must contact myself to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Questions for Officer Henson or a motion?
Move that we accept staff's recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Simon, second by Mr. Bates. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries and brings us to the last case here, 25-37 CEB. Same respondents, same address. And Officer Henson, whenever you're ready.
Code Enforcement Officer Shannon Henson, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, North Region. This case number is 25-37 CEB. Mabel Hill, Harry Hill, Bernice McKenna Ayer, and Cheryl M. Hardy. This property is at 2054 Sipes Avenue. The violation charge is Seminole County Code Chapter 95, 95.4, as defined in 95.3C, remains or rubble of a structure. This initial case was open or inspected on September 12th, 2024. Code board order was June 8th, 2025, with inspections, and my last inspection was yesterday, August 27th, 2025. The results of the follow-up inspection, the violation of remains of a structure, rubble of a structure remains on the property. This was taken by myself September 12th, 2024. This was taken June 11th, 2025. This was taken August 11th, 2025 by Officer Hill for the posting. And this was taken myself yesterday, August 27th, 2025. The suggested recommendation by a code enforcement officer is based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 25-37 CEB. It is determined that the respondents, Mabel Hill, Harry Hill, Bernice McKenna Ayer, and Cheryl M. Hardy, are the owners of the property located at 2054 Sipes Avenue, located in Seminole County, is determined by the property appraiser's records and is in possession or control of the property, and is in violation of Seminole County Code Chapter 95, 95.4, as defined in 95.3C. And it's further recommended that the Code Enforcement Board, based on the finding of facts, conclusion of law and order issued on April 24th, 2025, I am requesting that the Code Enforcement Board to issue an order imposing a lien in the amount of $8,100 for 81 days of noncompliance from June 8th, 2025 through and including August 27th, 2025, and that the fine shall continue to accrue at $100 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after August 28th, 2025. The respondents must contact myself to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Questions for Officer Henson or motion?
I move that we accept staff's recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Simon, second by Mr. Bates. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Which brings us to the end of the cases. It brings us to the approval of the minutes of our June 26, 2025 meeting. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Bates, second by Mr. Simon to approve the minutes dated June 26, 2025. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that carries. Just confirming our next meeting date, September 25th, 2025. If anybody has any issues, please let the clerk know as soon as you know. Any other issues before I ask for a motion to adjourn?
I'd just like to ask the attorney, so I understand this. Anytime we have unsecured pools, we can make a motion to have it, I believe you said tagged, so it becomes to the attention of the county to see how they want to deal with it.
You can tag something if you believe there's a health, safety, welfare concern. That brings it to the county's attention. Okay?
All right.
I don't want to say anytime you see a pool, every case is different, right? You have to assess each case individually, but if there's a situation that you believe meets that criteria, then you can tag it under Chapter 162. And I just want to bring up one more thing. Don't forget that you have a meeting in December, which is not the fourth Thursday of the month. So there will be no meeting in November. So after September 25th, you have October 23rd, and then it jumps to December 4th, which I believe is the first Thursday of the month. So just looking ahead at the calendar.
All right. Anybody have anything else?
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Simon, second by Mr. Bates to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?